Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf. This is the Doc of Detox show. And today I've got Robert on with his wife. And your wife's name again is?
Dawn.
Dawn, correct. Okay, great. So how are you guys doing?
We're doing okay.
You doing okay?
We've been very busy.
Oh yeah, busy with what?
We moved my wife's grandmother's things out. She left us a while back, so we finalized all of that and squeezed more furniture into this little place.
Well, just make sure you leave some room. You know, there is such a thing as flow, and a lot of people, you know, they don't let go, so they don't have any flow left. And you got to let go on a physical and emotional level. And the reality is, a lot of people will never, ever, ever, ever get well. You do know that, right? And because they will never, ever put themselves first and foremost before anyone or anything else long enough and strong enough to create a new program, okay? And that's the deal. Everything is a program, okay? So today we're dealing with you, and you were diagnosed with cervical dystonia, okay? Would you like to just tell me what they told you cervical dystonia is?
Who's that directed at?
It's directed at me. Because guess what? Let's find out what they said and why you have this condition.
Sure.
I think you've confused us with somebody else.
Okay, well, what's your problem?
The things wrong with me. Well, starting from when I was a kid, they diagnosed me with the trigeminal neuralgia.
Okay, all right.
And then my TMJ, the cartilage is pretty much gone.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, first to go, trigeminal neuralgia is actually just crystallization and scar tissue wrapped around the nerve.
Okay.
Okay, but I need you to get that. Now, the more chronic it becomes, the more calcified it'll become. Remember something, that acidity will draw, okay, the more acidic you are, the more calcium you draw from your bones. If you were to take a look at the bones closest to the site, you'll see that you're having osteopenia or even osteoporosis. Now that calcium that actually got pulled out from those bones can be replaced. Did you know that? It'll actually go back. I'm telling you, within 3 to 9 months maximum, the bone will be completely calcified the way it should be. Not calcified like tissue, but it'll go back the way it needs to go. And the calcium that was actually lost from that bone, which is now in your tendons, ligaments, organs, tissues, doesn't matter where, in your joints, it will go back into that bone. This is a fact. Now, if we were to actually do Wolf non-surgical and a little bit of cell-sonic on that trigeminal neuralgia, I will tell you that 80% of it will be gone. Let me ask you a question. Is there such thing as trigeminal neuralgia, which means nerve pain, correct? Okay, it's nerve pain in the face. You only have nerve pain in the face because of sharp shards. That would be the crystallization, that would be the calcification. And when you open up your mouth or where you get angry, you contract, right? When people get angry, when they get frustrated, okay, they contract. Or even by smiling, okay, and contracting, that could set it off because we get scar tissue wrapped around the nerve. We get crystallization and calcification poking at the nerve. Understand, and they never deal with this. This is only about drugs. And if you complain long enough and strong enough, they'll come in and they'll do surgery. But that'll be just trying to cut the nerve so you don't feel the pain anymore. But now you're going to have all that scar tissue. Okay, so there's the trigeminal neuralgia. We've talked about that, okay? All right?
Yeah, I've always had acid reflux. So when I was younger, they put me on omeprazole. and which has now led into my lower back, is what you were talking about with the osteoporosis.
Right.
Is now all through my lower back. They also said my discs were separated. And I also have a damaged nerve in the back, in the 9-10 area that grabs the lung in the front. So if I lie flat on my back, I get this, like, as if everything locks. I also have osteochondritis as well, or at least that's what.
Okay, 1 second. I just got to straighten this out here, but I need to go through this a little slower with you. Okay, all right.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things.
And I know, but those things are not true. Okay, they are true, but they're not true. That's kind of. I'll explain why in a second. Okay. All right.
These are all the wonderful things they've been.
They tell you. Yes, I know that.
This is the stuff they tell you. Yeah.
Well, just know that we're all programmed. And just know this, some programs will actually kill a person. Some programs will ruin a person's life, right? Correct? Or no? Yeah. I believe anyways that it can ruin.
I've been watching it with my father, yeah.
Right. Okay. All right, I think we got it now. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's go back. So we talked about the trigeminal neuralgia. Then where did you go from?
We were trigeminal and TMJ, and then the lower back is osteo. They did a CT scan and said it had osteoporosis throughout there.
Okay, but let's just leave it for now for a second. I can tell you that the low back problems, whether somebody has ulceration, ulcerated disc, or they got perforated disc, or they've got any type of lower back pain, okay? All of this stuff, whether somebody needs a rod, somebody needs a fusion, or somebody's going to actually, any type of surgery in the low back is caused because of infection to inflammation, and it's your large intestine. People don't get this. It's too easy. It's too simple. But the reality is this, I guarantee you that you've had bowel problems forever and a day. And understand that. It's called gut-brain disconnection. They call it gut-brain connection. That's when you're functioning properly, thinking properly. But when you're not thinking properly, it's gut-brain disconnection. And it's actually your good bacteria have gone bad. They're corrupted and you can't think properly anymore. And the reality is it's called leaky gut. And that leaky gut is actually only leaky large intestine. And the infection leaks into the lower part of the abdomen, and what happens is, come on, that's where most of the surgeries are done. Okay, it's either the cervical spine because you're a terrorist, or it's the lower spine, okay, because you're rotting out. Okay, so you're rotting out, and that's the deal. If we were to actually clean out your colon, clean out your liver, all right, and if we were to actually build back the bacteria and make them back into good bacteria, not bad bacteria, so they're not gassing off, and heal your intestines so it's not like a screen door in a submarine pooping into your pelvis. And understand something. Where's your low back? Take a look. Well, here, take a look at this. Okay, here is your cecum. Over here, your cecum, and it comes up your your ascending colon, transverse colon, and then descending colon, sigmoid, and then rectum, anus. Okay, now, here's the deal. Take a look. Right here is the sigmoid. This is the last part of the colon, and this is the last part that everybody, they're sluggish. I feel like there could be more to come out. Everybody thinks they have great bowel movements. How many people do you poop with? Everybody thinks they have a good diet. How many people do you eat with? And how many practitioners actually are out there that are healthy? So the reality is, if I were to take and go directly through where the sigmoid colon is, which was the last 6 inches of the large intestine, it's right here. If I go directly through, watch this. I've got L4 and L5. And I guarantee you it's L3, L4, and L5 that you're having a problem with. And the L3, L4, L5, you've been pooping in your pelvis, and that's where the infection gets the most concentrated. And that infection goes to inflammation. That inflammation goes to scar tissue formation. And now you've got decalcification of the vertebrae, and you've got calcification of your discs. So guess what? The vertebrae are losing calcium, and then the calcium goes into the disc because they're inflamed and infected. And then they tell you that you're bone on bone. But understand something, you can get anybody you want, and I mean it, somebody who's even healthy, and guess what? Ask them, say, okay, so you're 50 years old. How tall were you? How tall were you when you were 20? Well, I was 5'8", and now I'm only 5'6". Oh, guess what? Now, if you go to a doctor or even a natural health therapist, they're going to go, you've lost bone calcium. What bones got smaller? Your head? What happened is there's these cushions, okay? All right? Those discs are called cushions. Those cushions are in between your vertebrae. They get flattened out because they get infected, inflamed, and inflammation, they go dehydration. And you've got the same amount of fiber, but if you've ever eaten beef jerky, your discs in between your vertebrae have become beef jerky. Now, here's the deal. I'll prove it to you. I mean, we can get someone else to do it, but if you want to come down here, you're not that far. I'll work on your SI joints, which you could go to a chiropractor and have it adjusted, or massage therapist, and they can use their hands till the cats come home, okay? Or you can go to a physio, but then I'll go in and I'll just do your two SI joints. I'll do your sacrum, and I'll do L3, L4, L5, and I guarantee you that you haven't felt like that in 25 years. And all I want is 45 minutes to an hour. And I'll go in and I'll take the scar tissue apart around your SI joints. Your SI joints help you to walk like this. Everybody's SI joints get frozen. And when they get frozen, you waddle, okay? And you can't lift up your knees properly. So you're dragging your legs, right? Sound like anybody you know? Your low back feels like there's a world of pressure on it, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because in between L2, L3, L4, L5, and L6, there's been compression because of inflammation causing dehydration. I am going to, if you want to go for another hour, I'll do your whole vertebrae, and I'll bring back 1 inch to 1.5 inches in your height in 1 hour. So that means that if you give me about 1 hour and 45 minutes, okay, or any of my practitioners, but if you want, we'll do it on video. And we'll show a before and after. I'll measure your height. We'll take a video on how you're walking. And we'll take a video on how you're trying to touch your toes and you can't. And then we'll do a video after I just work on you for 1 hour and 45 minutes, and you'll see the difference. You've got scar tissue and calcification wrapped around your SI joints. So eventually what's going to happen is right in your lower back, you've got the SI, you've got your sciatic nerve coming out of your spine, and it comes through the SI joint. Now, if the SI joint has a bunch of scar tissue and calcification there, guess what? Now there's going to be pressure, and now you're going to have sciatica. And then eventually, you can't put your heel on the floor. And I guarantee you've already had symptoms of it in both legs. I call BS. Chiropractors will adjust you till the cows come home and try to push it back into place. But think of this. Try to think of a bolt with lots of rust around it, okay? You got to get rid of the rust, and that's the scar tissue and the calcification. And remember something, every tissue that it actually becomes dehydrated becomes shorter. So that means every tendon, every muscle, every ligament becomes shorter. That means when you try to do full extension, you're not going to get it. You don't have full extension anymore, do you? You go to try to stretch out, you feel like you're going to tear out, yes or no? I'm going to tell you something right now. If you were to do the Perfect Day diet, if you were to do the ultimate coffee enema, if you were to then do my 6-day advanced water fasting, and we did 4 to 6 of those, and we did 1 every 6 weeks, and we had you on the Perfect Day diet. Okay, I'll tell you something right now. So I'm going to be here in Barrie, okay? And I'm going to be starting a week from today, a whole life coach certification, which is 9 days. Understand something right now. And people won't like this, but people are never going to experience their full potential. They're never going to find their authentic self. A lot of people will be able to turn the burner down and stop some of their suffering. But to actually buy into totally loving, honoring, respecting yourself and doing a perfect day, okay, that gently loves and cares for yourself throughout the day. That doesn't mean you forget your family, you forget your work, you forget anything. You'll definitely stop harming your family. You'll stop harming yourself if you knew how to love, honor, and respect yourself. Understand, I've got people that travel to me from all over the world to take my 9-day whole life coach course. whether they are a medical doctor, chiropractor, or whether they're just coming to, guess what? If this doesn't work, I want to die. Okay? Because people just can't take it. Because people don't get that if you change your story, you change your life. They don't get that if you change your story, you change your life. Did you get that yet? They don't get that if you get rid of the scar tissue, you get rid of old age. If you get the calcium back into the bones, you get rid of old age. You also get rid of disease, because diseases are just blocks. No matter what the condition is in your body, so you can mention 1,000 of them to me. These are all, and guess what? The more symptoms you have, the more signals are coming from your body that you are disrespecting it. Now, on a subconscious, unconscious level, you've been disrespecting yourself since you were a child. You were taught to disrespect yourself because you were disrespected. And that's it. So, you know what? It's not good enough. I'm telling you right now that if we just did the physical thing within 6 weeks, if I was your practitioner, or if you just came to Barrie and Shalou and Simran were your practitioner, and while I was here for the next 2 weeks, you went hardcore on this, in 2 weeks, you'd be showing miracles to everyone. I'm telling you that. I told you that if you wanted to, you come down and spend the day on Wednesday, and then we will do non-surgical on you, and then I'll have some other people do you as well, because I'll show it. We'll get in there deep, and I'll tell you something right now. You have no idea. But here's the deal. How does it feel to go to a doctor? Because remember, these doctors wear white coats for a reason. We're all white coat brainwashed. You know, I'm thinking to myself, what I need to do is I need to go get a white coat and wear a white coat all the time. But then everybody's going to tell me I'm a fraud. But the reality is that, guess what? That white coat makes everybody a fraud, because as soon as you put on a white coat, you believe anything that comes out of the mouth of that practitioner. And that's the God's truth. The reality is that you're not going to get turned around. Did you notice that the more you went to the medical system, the more trouble you're in? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
I left mainstream doctors over 10 years ago.
Right, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second.
That's all right.
Well, okay. Yeah. Okay, so the reality is this, okay? You're in a spiral, and it's just a domino effect. The more infected you become, the more inflamed you become. The more you keep on telling yourself there's no hope, there's no hope. And the reality is we can't have hope, we gotta have faith. So you gotta have faith in a program. A program from the moment you rise until you close your eyes, you gotta have a strategy. And if you could just keep repeating that strategy and moving the needle 1% every day, 100 days, you'd be a whole new you. The reality is are you gonna be able to stop talking to yourself about how sick you are, how painful this is, how you're never going to get well? Because that's a big part of it. Just know that, okay? It's a huge part of this. So we're going to really need to do some work on your mind. You're going to have to. And like I told you, if you could take my course, that would be great. But if not, if you come for the day, you'll see. You'll see what we can do. You'll understand that a person by the third day of taking my whole life coach course, their life changes forever. That's why we give a money back guarantee by the end of the first day. If you don't feel like, wow, this is it, I get it, then we'll just refund your money. And that's what we have to do with people. This is why if you come for a non-surgical treatment and the first one you're going, wow, this doesn't work, well, we'll prove to you it works. Remember something, if you could just wrap this around your head. Did you go watch Reverse the Irreversible? It's a video masterclass that I have in my library. Go watch it. Okay, it's 2.5 hours. I'll explain the whole science of how you got to where you got to. Okay, tell me what else is going on.
Actually, a lot of the stuff you described on that left side, so the doctors diagnosed me with mild colitis and irritable bowel.
Okay, 1 second. They're both the same thing. The reality is if we can give you a whole bunch of names you don't understand, if we can give you a whole bunch of things you don't understand, then you're ours forever. Irritable bowel means inflammation. Colitis means colon inflammation. Irritable bowel means just inflammation, and that's from stagnation. And that means that you don't drink enough water. You don't drink the right water. That means you don't eat enough of a whole plant-based diet. That means that you're unwilling to let things go on an emotional level, not just a physical level. You need to, if you go on a, drinking structured water, and let's say we get you to drink structured water, and we'll get you to drink anywhere up to a gallon of structured water, but if we have you doing other nutritional things and drinks, then that would come off that. But you need to do a gallon, and I guarantee you probably do maybe 2 liters a day. On a good day, you probably do more, but you think you do. Do you know how many people think they drink water by carrying the jug with them all day long? I would want to actually see you fill up 4 1-quart jugs with your name on it, okay? Put the lid on, make them from warm to hot, put in black diamond, and put in also a couple of drops of super cinnamon essential oil to get you away from your carb cravings and sugar cravings, okay? Because they're there somewhere, that's a definite. But the reality is, we need to go through what the perfect day diet is. Now, did you go to my library and take a look at what was called the 4 pillars of the perfect day?
Not yet, no.
Well, I need you to do that. Okay, we're going to come back on here. And if you want, we'll come on early in the morning. And let's say Wednesday. We'll come back on here Wednesday morning. Okay? All right? 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. We're going to come back on. And we're going to build you a perfect day diet. So that'll be part 2. I don't want to rush things. Because what if you actually go and watch that video, Reverse the Irreversible, and I'll show you that surgery is going to cause more scar tissue. How many people, okay, the people that you know, the more surgery they get, the more surgery they get. The people you know that do drugs, prescription drugs or street drugs, the more they do, the more drugs they need. The more surgery they get, the more surgery they need. Because drugs and surgery create so much displaced calcium from your bones and so much scar tissue that you're going to become old really quick. I'm going to be kicking butt, man, until I'm 100 or more. I know that. I know that I'm never going to have a disease. I know that there'll be no virus that can ever touch me because viruses are dead. You know, I wouldn't say I'm a genius, but if you're logical, you're a genius today, aren't you? If you're logical, you're a genius. And I am logical, so I'm not going to call myself a genius, but if you're logical, you're a genius. And we already know that viruses are dead, so they can't be playing leapfrog. The reality is this, the only reason why people get sick is because they're infecting themselves on an emotional level first. Every time that you get depressed, you don't eat right, drink right, think right. Depressed people have depressive thoughts. Healthy people have healthy thoughts and they have a healthy program. And understand something, you have unhealthy thoughts. All we got to do is give you healthy thoughts. I mean, do you deserve to be sick? Absolutely not. Does anybody deserve to be sick? Absolutely not. But if you're not willing to change your story. So what I'm going to tell you is this. We'll work together and you can tell me what's wrong with you. You can call me every day. This is what I'm feeling. But when you're telling me it, you're going to tell it from a brave heart. Okay? From a brave heart. You're not going to go back in history anymore and tell me, and you're not going to be able to tell your story anymore. You're not going to be able to tell a victim story anymore. I'll give you a protocol. We'll lay the protocol out. You'll do the protocol. And then you can tell me, well, I'll tell you what. Today I got really bad gas cramps. Yesterday I was feeling pain here. I was feeling pain here. I was feeling pain here. And guess what? You're no longer a victim anymore. You're telling a BraveHeart story. You're coming to your practitioner, and I'll answer every call you got. But we'll do this online. We'll let people know what's going on. We'll track you so that we can prove to you and we can prove to everybody in the world that the whole medical system, except for 1% of it, is not BS. Okay? The reality is we do need emergency care because guess what? Not everybody's going to be like you, my friend. That say I've had enough of this, okay? I'm gonna actually have to learn how to love and care for myself and change my story. Is there anything you'd like to say to me so far?
No, that's yeah, everything makes sense so far.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. You have a cane, right?
Yes.
When did you adopt the cane? Well, you don't remember.
A couple of years ago.
Huh?
At least a couple of years ago.
Well, guess what? You're not going to like this, but that's your best friend. So now you're going to have to really, really work hard at giving that cane up. Okay? All right? Because it's from a cane to a walker to a wheelchair to hospice. Okay? All right? And then your wife will have to become the caretaker. Right? Okay. All right. That's what's going to happen. And I saw the shape of your belly. And it's a smelly belly. Okay? All right? So you've got a lot of putrefaction going on down there. And understand, I am not poking fun at you. It is not your fault. But from this moment on, okay, and we're going to go live on here again. We'll do probably part 2, part 3, part 4. That'll be about it. But I'll take you all the way. And then you can come on here and tell everyone that Dr. Wolf's a fraud and stole my money. Or you can come on here and say, guess what? If you actually listen and you actually follow through, you actually have to follow through though. You have to do your part. And if you don't do your part, you're not allowed to lie. Because everybody lies to their practitioner, right? Yes or no?
I don't.
Okay, well that's great. Then we're going to have a great relationship because I'll be able to tell if you do. Because 1 and 1 are 2, they're not 11. Okay, and this is how I work with people. And this is why people say, oh my God, he doesn't have empathy for people. No, I have compassion. I'm not going to have empathy. I'm not going to feel sorry for people. And I'm not going to suffer for people. And people have suffered enough. And did you ever notice when you suffer for a family member, they only get sicker? Did you notice that? So everybody that has empathy and feels pity for you, okay, is only going to make you become a victim even more. And you're going to be headed to that walker faster. Okay? So we got to hold the line here. All right, so what'd you eat today?
I had, when I got up this morning, I had just a single slice of toast with jam.
Okay, so guess what? That's really great. So now you had pure sugar jam. Okay, you can't have jam. Your jam, you jam that right up your butt, bud. I'll tell you that right now. Let me tell you, jam is just sugar. And then guess what? You had bread. Okay, so bread's dead. Bread is a refined carbohydrate, so you had double sugar. So guess what? I don't want you eating until 12 o'clock. You don't eat till 12 o'clock. Why?
Do you mean in the PM or?
You don't eat till 12 noon.
Noon, okay.
No. Guess what? Could you lose weight?
For which?
Could you lose some weight? Could you lose some weight, my friend?
Oh, I could afford to, absolutely.
I know that. So guess what? Do you know what time of the day is the best time to not eat? The secrets are all in the words. Break fast, breakfast, break fast, breakfast. And guess what? The body really eliminates at the strongest time is from 4 in the morning until noon. Now, when we start this off, this isn't called let's torture you. We don't want to do that. But the reality is you need to get up in the morning first thing. And what I want you to do is I'd want you to do daily cleansing tea because your bowel is a mess. Okay? It's a mess. Remember I saw you the other night?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a mess. It's got no tone. And understand that your large intestine is a muscle. It is the most important muscle in the human body. It's not my bicep. It's not my legs. It's my core. And the most important muscle in my core is my large intestine. Do you understand?
Yes.
Your large intestine is sitting at the bottom of your pelvis like in a coma. So is it like the garden of life? Is it the compost creating great bacteria? Or do you think it's a swamp creating bugs?
Oh, I know I have problems with my bowels.
No. The problem with your bowel is most of your problem. And the other part is suppressed anger. I don't know how you were raised or but you have suppressed anger. That's what causes most trigeminal neuralgia is suppressed anger. And the TMJ is called the FU point. Okay? And the reality is we hold anger in there. You make me so mad. Okay?
Yeah.
All right?
I have to sleep with a bite guard, or I've broken most of the teeth back.
Okay, but that's all anger. It's anger and worms. I hope everybody knows that. Grinding of your teeth is worms and anger. There it is. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. When you come on Wednesday, I will go in there and I can release the anger if you want. And then I will get someone to maybe go in and do the SI joints, okay? All right? And we'll do L3, L4, L5 that day. And understand that's a lot. But you wait till you see how you're going to feel. And then you're going to be putting DMSO and Pain Away essential oils. I'll lay out the whole protocol for you. You're going to start doing the pelvic squats. Have you been to my DIY guide and watched how to do pelvic squats yet, or the crab stretch?
No, I was seeing a physiotherapist. The doctor sent me to one, how many months ago? About 6 months ago or so. She kept saying I was strong and had me doing these exercises where I put my hands on my back and stretch. And because of the stretches I was doing, I created a diastasis recti. Is that what it's called? So if I try to do a sit-up, I get this big lump down the middle of my stomach. I push too hard into the stretches. I usually, when I'm told to do something, I do it.
Okay, 1 second. Now I'm going to tell you something. Okay? You're not going to probably like this. And no, I'm not beating up on him. So those of you that are victims out there, please don't take it that way. But you're not going to get to do that when you work with me. And that is you're going to have to protect yourself from your own subconscious. Believe it or not, you've been hurting yourself all your life. And believe it or not, when you love, honor, and respect yourself, you'll do these exercises that you're going to go watch. And I'll show them again next Wednesday to you, a week from this Wednesday. Okay? All right? When you come, I'll show you the stretches, but here's the reality. You need to do everything with love. You need to do everything with unconditional love for yourself. You don't do it with anger anymore. So people with suppressed anger will hurt themselves on a continual basis, throw themselves down the stairs, fall off a curb, cut themselves. Do you understand? But it's all an accident, right? And it's not. I do not hurt myself. And the only time that I ever really did hurt myself is when I was in a pissed off mood or angry. Okay? So people don't get that. The mind is everything, and if you don't want to reprogram your mind, then you're only going to fall back into whatever condition you're in. Even if your wife supports you 100%, your family supports you, I support you, spend a ton of money, you're just going to fall back there. My reality is this, okay? If it was affordable, I'd tell you to take the whole life coach course, all right? You do that. We would work on you every day with non-surgical while you were there. It's a 9-day course, 4 days on, 1 day off, 4 days on. We work on you every day, okay? You'll get the emotional work. By the time you're done, you'll never go back to this again. You know, we can talk about that if you want. There's only 2 spots left in my whole life coach course. Or don't take it. I'm still going to work with you. It's going to be bumpy and it's going to be a bit of a grind, and you are really going to have to come up against that subconscious. You're not the only one. Everybody on this planet, okay, has to come up against their subconscious, because guess what? What's going on in the world today? Can you tell me?
It depends on what it looks like.
What's going on in the world today? People are waking up. People are waking up that we've been programmed. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you were programmed. You were programmed to have every one of these symptoms, to buy every one of those drugs, to go into surgery. You were programmed for all of this.
Yeah.
So just know that everybody out there that has any type of sickness or disease was programmed for it. If they don't want to go in and rewrite their story and change the prominent dominant beliefs in the subconscious, they will get well for a while. Why don't you ask any patient that gets cancer the second time, third time? Why don't you do that? Or the person that says, now I don't have this condition, I have this other condition, which is just a worse condition than I had before because you're just getting worse. And understand, taking drugs and not feeling the pain anymore, the fire's still going on. So if you're taking any drugs, do you take any?
Nope.
Well, good. Because if
No.
you took any drugs to suppress the pain, the inflammation, or the suffering, guess what? It's still going on. You've just numbed it out. You've cut off the gut-brain connection, so you don't even feel it anymore. Meanwhile, you're still frying out your system. So at least, look it's going to make it a lot easier to turn this around.
Yeah, well, 20 years ago, they...
Okay, so can you hold on for a second? I have to answer this person. So the person's saying, so are you the cure? The cure is the person who owns the vehicle. We have strategies, okay? There are no cures out there. There are just changing your personality to change your reality. Your personality creates your reality. I hope you get that. And you already know that I'm not coming off and trying to sell myself as the cure. There are no cures. There are no cures. There are perfect days where you unconditionally love and care for yourself from the moment you rise until you close your eyes. If anybody out there promises a cure, they do not know what they're talking about. There is some things that are based on science that if you do this, you get this. But are you going to do this long enough and strong enough to create a program and a lifestyle change that will support a higher vibrational tissue, a higher vibrational blood, lymph, and the whole thing, and just even your aura is more high vibrational. It's all about your attitude. Attitude is everything. Understand, everybody, like this is TikTok coming on right now, and TikTok wants to trip me up. Usually somebody on TikTok will usually tell me to go to you-know-where and do you-know-what. So at least they're being nicer today. But understand, there are no cures. You are the cure. And listen, love is just an ingredient. Your wife loves you, and I know that. Your kids love you. But too bad that you don't love yourself enough yet. When you do, you'll bring up that vibration. And it doesn't matter how much you love your wife or your children. You got to love yourself enough to spend enough attention with yourself to understand how your subconscious is ruling, schooling, and fooling you and creating these illnesses. Are you understanding, my friend?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I can tell you right now, you know what? You can say anything you want to me. Just be as upfront and honest. You can challenge me on any level that you want. I will give you so many things that you can do to help to hack, shortcut, so you're not spending thousands of dollars. Okay, we don't, because at the end of the day, you are the healing device. You are an electrical, magnetic energy being, and if you feed that, you're going to stay there. I want you to write down for me, okay? All right? Let me see here. What's my day look like tomorrow? It's busy as heck. I want you to give me a call tomorrow morning. I want you to call me around 9 o'clock, and I want you to tell me why you should live. Tell me that why you should thrive. I want you to tell me what your passion and purpose is in your life. And don't tell me to see my kids get married. I think I'll throw up. I want you to know what your passion and purpose is. I want you to know what your passion and purpose is and then I want you to find that, and then I want you to go out and gift the world with that. That is your goal. Your goal is to have abundant energy. Your goal is to be symptom-free. And when you're symptom-free, you're getting no signals from your body that you're trying to hurt yourself on an unconscious level, of course. And the reality is it's all signals. People call them symptoms, but it's body talk, and your body's talking to you and trying to let you know where you're at in the way of self-love and self-care. And then those symptoms get turned into diseases. Those diseases, are just symptoms that the medical system will shut down, and then you'll burn up. That's the deal. And then guess what? When you burn up, just if I put a burger on a barbecue and I forget it's there, what happens to it?
Chars.
It'll become a piece of beef jerky, and that's what you've become. So here's the deal. Your core, which is your large intestine, is laying in there in a coma, no tone. And then other parts of your body are so stiff because of the inflammation has created scar tissue formation and calcification, okay? And that is what's happened. Okay? So now we got to go in and create balance. We got to get the tone back into your digestive tract. And then we've got to go and get the circulation back into where the scar tissue formation is, the calcification, and get the calcification back into the bones. How's that sound?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So what did you have for lunch?
What did I have for lunch? Yeah, we had some leftover food from last night.
No, you're not allowed to do that. What did you have for lunch?
Oh, I had chicken.
And what else?
Literally just some chicken and some noodles.
Some what?
Some noodles and chicken.
Okay, bear with me, okay? And understand, I'm not trying to pick on you, okay? Because you're actually picking on yourself without knowing it. So you started off this morning with what? Jam and toast?
Yes.
Okay, sugar. And
yes.
Then you shut down your, as soon as you do sugar, you shut down your elimination process, okay? Okay? You do get that, right? As soon as you bring in any little bit of sugar, you turn on your digestive tract and you shut down your elimination process. So now, honestly, how much water did you drink since this morning? Please, exactly.
I've had 4 of these so far.
4 what? Can I see, bud?
Water. It's one of those.
So would you say that's 12 or 16 ounces?
What did you say? 12 or 16?
12, I think.
We'll say 12.
All right. So you had 4 of them? What kind of water?
It's just filtered water.
Okay, I need you to look at structure. I need you to look at structured. Structured water has 1,000% better hydration on the body, and a structure unit never wears down, never breaks down. You don't need batteries, no electricity. And the reality is, I'll give you 90 days. If you don't think it's amazing, just return it to me. We do that for everyone. Okay, you'll find it in store.docofdetox.com. And right now, I've been 40 years into business, so I have we have the biggest sale I've ever had in 40 years right now. That's our celebration. So you need to go and do before 12 o'clock. You need to do at least 2 liters, 2 quarts of water. You need to do another 2 liters to 2 quarts of water before 4 o'clock. Because I don't want you urinating it later at night so that you can sleep properly. And you need to hydrate earlier in the day. Now, we already talked about the jam and toast, and let's just talk about the noodles and the chicken. So that was leftover foods. Leftover foods, they get bacteria, okay? They have no life force in them. Leftovers are for, who wants a leftover? I don't want leftovers. Try to make just enough food for yourself, and understand, I need you to be on a whole plant-based diet. Will you agree to do at least a whole plant-based diet? That would be like blender drinks with berries. Okay, that would be also, I'll go through exactly what it is, but it's blender drinks with frozen organic berries. It would be oat milk. It would be black gold in it to help to restore the gut bacteria, help to also bring out the heavy metals, the worms, because black gold will totally deworm and demetal and suck up 300 to 600% of its weight in acidity, heavy metals, and worms. And that's why you do it on a daily basis for life. That's only like a level tablespoon. And in your case, we'd want you to do a level tablespoon twice a day because I know you're really wormy, okay? No offense to that either. I wasn't trying to pick on you, okay? But we need the heavy metals. We need the worms out. We need you to get on Black Diamond and put that in all your drinking water, like I said, with a couple drops of our super cinnamon. So, because you are a sugar addict, and I told you that before you even told me about the jam and the toast. That is totally obvious, okay? And that's only because you're lacking energy. And my God, I want some energy. I want some energy to feel like I'm in love with my family, that I can play with my kids, that I'm useful. Well, we don't just know that sugar is cocaine. And the reality is this, is that to create real energy, we're going to have to use nutraceuticals that have high vibration to change the vibration in your body. And you trust me, look at, you get on my amino acid, amino cell for your shakes. You get on the SON formula, get on the IGF 300,000. You're going to go, oh my God, I've got so much energy. We're going to teach you how to do all the exercises. And We're going to teach you how to do the clapping. We're going to teach you how to do the belly button therapy. Let me ask you a question. What do you do all day?
Housework.
Housework.
Cooking. I cook for the family.
Yeah, you cook too much. I don't, the more you cook, the worse you look. The more you fry, the sooner you die. Okay? I'm not trying to be blunt. It's the way it is. I really need you to look at doing blender drinks for the kids, for the wife, doing really amazing salads, using things like avocado, using things like black beans, learning how to make refried beans, okay, things of that nature. Yeah, if you do this, you're going to have a very healthy, wealthy family, okay? Because everybody's going to be sparking and their brains are going to be working, okay? And that's how it works. The more dumbed down the food is, the more dumbed down the humans are. Have you seen humans lately? Well, what do you think?
No, I agree.
Okay, that's why they're going to take the world down. That's why, the people that are awake are already awake, and those that aren't awake probably aren't going to wake up. They might turn the burner down a little bit, but most of them are going to knock themselves off because they're not going to be able to get over their addictions, okay? Because there's too many in the family that are addicted to what they believe they're having. Oh, I have a great bowel movement. Oh, I'm sure you do. Oh, I have a really good diet. Oh, I'm sure you do compared to the rest of the people in your family. And I'm not trying to pick on people, but I'm the wake-up call. I'm the wake-up call for those people who understand that you do not have to be sick. You do not have to have symptoms. You do not have to have diseases. And again, for those of you who think I'm saying I'm the cure, I'm not the cure. The cure is loving, honoring, and respecting yourself before anyone else or anything else, so help you God. And if you don't want to put yourself first and you don't want to heal yourself, don't go around telling other people how to live. I am not a hypocrite. I am going to show you how to turn your life around, I promise. Do you have any questions, or does your wife have any questions? Does Dawn have any questions?
Where do we start?
I'll tell you where we start, and I'm going to tell you this right now. And I'm going to say this. I'm really surprised that he's not on drugs. So he's on low vibrational foods. So I don't want to overwhelm. You need to go, and instead of watching TV, you need to watch some of these things. I'm going to give you your homework, okay? As soon as you come back to me and tell me that you've watched these things, we're going to come back on here and we're going to get right back at it. Okay? How's that? Is that fair?
Yep.
And I mean it. Okay? We'll get right back at it. We'll come right back on. This is part 1. I don't care how many parts we do. The reality is guess what? Everybody deserves perfect health. Everybody deserves enough energy to go after their dreams and their passion and be happy all day long. You must mind your own business. Are you ready to mind your own business?
Yes.
I mean it, because it's going to take everything you got because you don't have a lot of energy. But I'll lay the products out. The next time you call, I'm going to lay the diet and I'm going to lay the products out. We're going to do that diet for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's called the Perfect Day Diet. I'll lay it out, but I need you to go do your homework first. You ready? I'm going to lay the homework out for you. And the rest of you, please go online and do some homework for yourself, please. Okay? And then guess what? I do live Q&As so people can come on and challenge me. I'm a little bit busy today, but I'll let everybody know when I'm going to come on and do a live Q&A. And if you have questions, okay, if you have questions, you can send your questions, other people, to 469-861-9454. Or if you decide you might want to text me if you'd like to come on live, and I'll do a consult similar to this. I'll tell you what the conditions are if we do it, if you're interested. Look at. I just want to thank you for coming on here today and being brave, you and your wife, because there's a lot of people that are benefiting from this, I hope, because guess what? We're all in this together. People say we're all in this together, but we actually are all in this together, okay? Here's the homework. I need you to go into my library, okay? I need you to go into my library, and I need you to go. Is somebody writing this down? Is Dawn writing it?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Dawn. So I need you to go into my library and I need you to go watch Reverse the Irreversible. I need you to go also and watch, okay? How to Become Number One at the Art of Number Two. I need you to go watch, okay, Holy Crap, the Holy Grail. Guys, I'm going to tell you, when you watch these 4 videos, you're going to know more than most natural health practitioners around the world. I guarantee it, okay? And I need you to go watch, okay, The Highway of Life, your digestive tract. Go do those 4 videos. Now, I want you to go in and look at the Perfect Day diet. So it's called the 4 pillars of the Perfect Day. Look at the exercises, look at the diet, and if you want and you have time, you can look at the nutraceuticals. But if you don't have time, I'm going to go through the nutraceuticals with you, okay? Now we have the biggest sale on it. We really did. This is the biggest sale we've ever done because it's my 40th anniversary. And if that sale's over, I promise to honor you at that sale, okay? All right? So don't feel panicked, okay? Just relax, all right? Okay, so go through those things. I'm going to, when I get off here right now, did you send me your email?
I don't think so.
Can you text me your email, please? I'm going to send you the Perfect Day Guide. Now, understand something. When people get a consultation from us, usually it's $150. Or when you go to one of my master practitioners, if you go to consultations, like usually if you go to consultations at docofdetox.com, click on consultations, and then you get a consult from us. It's $150. It's lifetime support, and we give you a 400-page manual. But we'll also, you got lifetime calling with us, because nobody can learn health in a consultation or in a week or in a month. It usually takes about 9 months, and it's not like you're calling every day, but you're getting to create a beautiful, loving relationship with your body, which we have never learned how to do that. We need you to have a beautiful, loving relationship where you will be on guard and protect yourself from yourself for your body. And if we can get you there, you won't need us for anything. Okay, and that's it. So I'm going to send you this 400-page guide, and I want you and your wife to start gradually going through it and reading and learning. Hey, what would happen if you actually get yourself healthy and you feel just super amazing and you don't even have any symptoms? What would that do for teaching your children? No, what would it do? Right now, please don't be offended, but your children are screwed. They see a dad that can't get himself healthy, can't go to work, okay? A dad that's in pain all the time, and they see that you're trying to love them even though you're in pain, and they love you for that. But right, you need to believe this without guilt. They're hurting inside. You don't think your kids hurt because you hurt? They're not going to tell you that. They don't want to be a burden, but they're burdened by you being a burden to yourself. So whatever it's going to take, I'm not going to ever use guilt to try to make somebody buy or do anything. But the reality is, you better figure out what's going to trigger you to not believe in what you think, because what you think has got you to where you are right now. This is all this consultation should be today. Whether or not you want to just cut me loose and go bugger off, Dr. Wolf, or I'm in, I'm all in. And then I'm going to tell you that if you're all in 6 weeks, you'd be the miracle man. Because guess what? That's what created the universe, has always loved you. You don't love yourself. The way you treat yourself, but you didn't do it on purpose. So we got to change our attitude, okay? Our attitude is, I will love and care for myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else, so help me God. So you've got me. My number is 469-861-9454. You already called it. Okay, I've had trouble squeezing you in the last few days because we're trying to open up our university. We've got these new doctorates coming on. Okay, I've got a lot. So, but understand, now that we've done the consult, this is it. It's game on. It's game on. This is me and you working together as brothers until, guess what? You know what? I don't need Dr. Wolf. He can go now. And I want you to say that. You know what? I'm cutting you loose, Dr. Wolf. I am the practitioner of myself and my family. And that should be your goal. Your goal should be nothing else except to become a better practitioner than me. or at least good enough that you know that you can get yourself well, because then you could do it for your family. How would that make you feel?
Yeah, that would be great.
I need you to get excited. That would be great. So I want you to fake that you... No, hold on. I need you to fake that you're excited. I need you to fake that you want to live. I want you to fake it that you want to be the hero for your children. And I want you to fake it that your wife is never scared again because she knows that you've got her back. You got her front. So when we talk, do me a favor and just write there, bullshit the doc. Get excited. Okay? Because guess what? If anybody believes this, that I do what I do for money, well, we'll find out. We'll find out where this is going. Okay? I don't need to wear a white coat. And just understand, a white coat gives you nothing. I'll tell you what's going to... We need to give him back his power. And understand something. People go, you're so hard on him. Look at the whole world. Most of the world is got victimitis. Okay? Everybody's going, why don't you have empathy for them? Well, that seems to not work. Why don't we have courage for them? Why don't we have stand and hold the line for him? Why don't we try to get into him that he needs to get excited and then stay there? Because I'll tell you something. If you're excited, what do you think that would do to your pH? If you're excited, what would that do for dumping dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins into your body instead of adrenaline and cortisol, which you've been doing the whole time? So you better start smiling. So you better fake it. Okay, you better put all around the house smile. And you better tell your wife and you better tell your kids that keep on winking at me. And that means smile, Dad. Keep winking at me. Okay? Or do something. Make a deal with the family because you don't smile. You bought into your own BS story, belief system story, that life is over, life sucks, I got the bad end of the stick. Well, now it's up to you to pull the stick out. You don't smile unless I tell you you have to. And guess what? You're going nowhere. You're going nowhere. So you better walk around with a slight smile. And I guarantee you, if you smiled for 10 minutes, your cheeks would actually be sore because you've never used those muscles in years.
Yeah, it actually hurts. It hurts to eat too. I mean, even when you were mentioning salads and stuff, I blend everything, and I was drinking Ensure for the longest time.
Okay, one second. Do you have a clapper? Have you been clapping your face?
No.
Well, you need to start clapping your face. Let me tell you something. You are the problem because my face hurts. I mean, look at all the things you listed off. So why don't you keep going to the doctor and get a whole big longer list?
Like I said, I haven't gone to the doctor.
I know, but do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, it's
a new story.
We've been at this for years.
I know, but now you need a new story. You need a new story.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, we've gone out where we've met with people, healers.
I'm not a healer.
Native.
1 second. I am not a healer. I have a strategy that works.
No, I'm saying...
I know, but no, I want to make this perfectly clear. I don't believe in healers. Nobody can heal you. That's why you're not healed. There's only one healer for you, and that's you taking massive personal action. I know, but I don't want to hear the story about all the healers you went to, because I don't believe in healers.
I'm just saying, we're still going. We haven't given up.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say, is that, we haven't given up. I mean, I've never even had a coffee in my life. One of the questions I had was, you were talking about a coffee enema. I've never even had a coffee.
Okay, wait a second. Doing a coffee enema is not drinking coffee.
I'm just saying, I've never had a coffee. I don't drink pop. I don't drink alcohol. I actually rather, so those things I do avoid. I am guilty at when, especially when I feel a lot of pain, my body craves sugar, and I do fight trying not to eat it.
Okay, but I get it. And you know what? I'm not blaming you for it, but we're going to break the cycle. So guess what? If I have you doing things that relieve pain, if I have you doing things that create a new program, the pain won't be there. And whether you believe it or not, Your body doesn't need to have pain. Why don't you just start calendar tracking yourself? Go calendar track yourself, and every time you go for the sugar, every time you feel like you can't handle the pain, okay, it's 3 o'clock, okay, I can't handle the pain. It's 3:15, I just ate sugar. And you're going to find out the whole thing is a robotic program.
Yeah, that I know, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. So guess what?
You were right about the bowel with the pain. Like I get to a point where I can't put my foot down, and it just my legs collapse underneath me, and I fall to the ground from the pain that shoots up.
Okay, I know, but that wasn't that me saying about the pain wasn't for you to jump in and tell that story again.
Oh, okay.
No, one sec. We're not going to do this anymore. See, the reality is this. I want to talk about my pain, though. And please, it wasn't you talking. It was your subconscious. Nobody gets this. The subconscious runs our life. What if we were able to put in unconditional self-care and self-love programs only and into our subconscious? Well, we'd never wear a mask. We'd never take the V. We would never, ever end up with the C. Okay? We would be I am. Everything. That's it. So understand, you can actually take a look at a person's belief systems and you can tell them what illnesses they're going to have. You can take a look at a person's illnesses and you can tell them what beliefs they have. And it's psychology of the greatest. There is no other psychology. Your beliefs create everything. Your thoughts create everything. Your words are powerful. And understand, when we talk about things from now on, it's not about, you can't come in and talk to me and tell me what was going on in the past. We're only going to talk about now. So as we go forward, you can say, well, I felt this here because I'm going to give you a strategy to get rid of that lower back pain, the shoulder pain. I'm going to give you a strategy to start creating programs to get rid of it. We're not going back to talk about what all these symptoms. We're not. We're creating and writing a new story. So you're the producer, you're the director, you're the writer, and you're going to be the leading star. And it's not going to be a drama trauma anymore. It's going to be a love adventure comedy where you are the hero. And you better smile more. I want you to put smile, get your kids and go buy Post-it notes and put smile all around the house at eye level and put it on your mirror, put it in the car, put it everywhere. Smile, Daddy, we love you. Smile, honey, I love you. Do you understand? So you've got your homework. Go into the 4 pillars. Check out the exercises. Check out the nutraceuticals. Check out the Perfect Day diet. And check out, putting a elastic band or ordering some love bands. Okay, because this is to snap you back to the present. I love and approve of myself. I got this. There's a new sheriff in town. I'm not having toast and jam. I'm not eating leftovers. 80% of the weight volume of my diet is going to be whole plant-based foods, blender drinks and salads, avocado. I'll even learn how to make refried beans for the family. Understand something. And then guess what? No, I'm not hungry. I'm going to have a 10-minute nap. No, I'm not hungry. I'm thirsty. Okay? No, I'm not hungry. I didn't do my exercises. Do you understand? Okay. So let's go do it. And this is going to be a beautiful story. Because I know that your wife is a beautiful person and she's got your back. And she loves you. You are so lucky. Because in these situations, that by now, the other person just pretends to. Because they can't take it anymore. Because there is no hope. There is no faith. There is no courage. Okay, there's just my husband who bought into the story that he's sick and he's only going to get sicker and life looks like it sucks. Okay, it's called Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. Have a beautiful day. Call me. You call me. You let me know you've done this homework. I can be honest with you. It's 10 hours of research. You go do 10 hours of research guess what? And then people go, research, why am I doing that? I'm not going to do that. I pay professionals to do that. How's that working for you? Okay? Unless you matter enough, you'll never matter at all. Okay? Let's show your subconscious there's a new sheriff in town, and let's start rewriting the program. Okay? All right? Okay, some people are asking me what my phone number is. If you do call me, you can leave a message or you can text me. It's 469-861-9454 on WhatsApp, where it's direct USA number. Or what you can do is you can actually call me at 855-900-4544 extension 5. Okay? And I will get back to you. Sometimes it will take a day. If it's more than a day that I take to get back to you, then I want you to call me again. You're never going to bother me where I go, stop bothering me. No, you know what? It's called the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And just call me because you matter. Your questions matter. Nobody ever give up on yourself. Okay? You are worth it. Do not believe anything that they say out there. Let me tell you something. Whether it's a natural health practitioner or it's a medical doctor, okay, if they aren't telling you that you can completely turn yourself around, then they're lying. But you won't be able to, though. They're right, because the majority of the population will never turn themselves around. Because what happens is, whether you're talking about medical people, whether you're talking about natural health people, they go by statistics. As soon as you decide to change your personality, you'll change reality. Somebody could say you only got 2 weeks to live. Well, guess what? For somebody your age and the way you think, then don't think like that. Don't live like that and become something else. Don't be a statistic, okay? Don't follow the herd. I've never known when the majority was something I wanted to do, okay? So I also know that the majority's not going to buy into me. But guess what? Love your brothers and sisters anyway. That's the key. If you want to see this planet go free. Thank you. All right, don't forget to call me. Do your homework. Okay? Did I do okay? Did I give you enough?
Doc, is there any?
I think that's it.
That's good.
Yeah,
Okay, we have everything. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, just know this. Remember I said this. I said that if you go hardcore in 6 weeks, you're the miracle man. Okay? 6 weeks to 3 months, you're the miracle man. Okay? It depends on how much you bought into being a cripple, okay? And that there was no way out, okay? Tell a different story and you'll have a different ending. God bless.
You too. Okay, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. It was a pleasure being with you. Thank you.
One question, should I get that, you were mentioning last time, so is it the next call we're going to talk about products before we put an order through, or?
I'll tell you what, why don't you give me, I have a meeting right now. Okay. Why don't you give me a call, why don't you give me a call at 4:45?
Okay.
And I'll tell you the products that you can start, okay? Okay. So that you don't have all those stinky farts, okay?
I don't have stinky farts. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Okay?
That's okay.
All right, let's get the ball rolling. I like that. See, you're pushing me, right? I don't want to push anyone.
No, it's okay. Yeah, because I love the black gold and I've been using that.
We'll go through it. I'm going to go, call me at
4:45.
4:45. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye now.
All right, bye.